Emily and Jack were already arguing before they got out of the car. Not yelling, not yet, just talking over each other in low, tight voices that had nowhere to go. "It's not about today," Emily said, pushing the door open harder than she needed to. "It's everything. It's always everything with you." Jack shut his door. Slower. "You say that like I'm not trying. You're not trying in the ways that matter." He shook his head. "You say that every time. Because nothing changes." They stood there in the parking lot, the conversation stalling in the same place it always did. Half finished, worn out. Jack looked at her like he was about to say something sharper, something he'd been holding back. Emily braced for it. That's when the woman spoke. "You don't have to finish that here." They both turned. She was standing just a few feet away, close enough that she shouldn't have been there unnoticed. Calm, still, watching them like she had been listening for a while. Emily frowned. "Sorry. You're about to say something you won't be able to take back," the woman said. "You should say that somewhere controlled." Jack gave a small, uncomfortable laugh. "We're fine." The woman didn't smile. She looked at him for a moment, like she was measuring something. Then she reached into her coat and held out a card. "If you want to do this properly." Emily hesitated, then took it. The card felt thicker than it should have. Not rough, just soft. "Have a good night," the woman said. Then she walked away. Neither of them watched where she went. They just stood there for a second. Emily looked down at the card, then back at Jack. That was weird. "Yeah," he said. "Really weird." They got in the car, and for the rest of the drive, neither of them said what they had been about to say. The argument came back the next day. Same tone, same place, like it had been waiting. Emily found the card on the counters at evening, turning it over between her fingers. "Do you want to just try it?" she asked. "One session, just to say we did." Jack shrugged. Couldn't hurt. The office was easy to miss. Small sign, no branding, just a number on the door. Inside it was clean, neutral, warm lighting, soft chairs, nothing on the walls. It felt like it was trying not to be noticed. The woman was already there, sitting across from the chairs. Same calm expression, same steady attention. She didn't greet them, just nodded. Sit. They did. There was something in her hands, a thin line of thread looped between her fingers. It moved slowly as she worked it, like it didn't take her focus. Jack shifted slightly. So, how does this work? The woman looked at both of them, then at the space between them. We're going to be honest, she said. Completely. Emily nodded. Jack did too. Say what you've been holding back. Emily spoke first. I feel like I'm not important to you anymore. Jack leaned back slightly. That's not true. You're never present. I'm working. You're always working. The woman didn't interrupt. The thread moved slowly through her fingers. Go on, she said. Jack exhaled. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm trying to keep things together. That's not what I need. Then what do you need? For you to actually be here. I am here. No, you're not. The room went quiet. There was a soft sound, a faint pull. Emily glanced down. The thread in the woman's hands had grown longer. She hadn't noticed when. Say it clearly, the woman said. Her tone didn't change, but it didn't feel like a suggestion. Jack rubbed his face. Fine. You want me to say it? Emily looked at him. Yes. He hesitated. The woman's hands stopped moving. Don't soften it. Jack swallowed. Then he said it. I don't feel anything when I'm with you anymore. Emily stared at him like the words didn't make sense. What? You heard me. That's not true. It is. You don't mean that. Jack shook his head. I do. Emily laughed, but it broke halfway through. So, what, you've just been pretending? Maybe, she said louder. Which is it? I stayed because it was easier than leaving. The air in the room felt thinner. Emily's eyes filled. You're serious? Jack didn't answer. He didn't need to. You wasted my time, she said. I tried. No, you didn't. I did what I could. You didn't even love me. The words came out sharp, fast, too fast to stop. The woman leaned forward slightly. Finish it. Emily's breath shook. I wish I never met you. Silence. The woman went completely still. Her hands stopped. Her eyes were fixed on them. Then slowly she looked down and continued. The thread moved again, smooth, even, careful, like something had been set in place. That's enough, she said. They didn't speak as they left, didn't look at each other. The door closed behind them. Emily and Jack didn't break up when they got home. That was the part that felt wrong. They should have. They had said things before, bad things, but this time it had gone further. There was a line people don't usually cross, something you don't come back from. They had crossed it. Emily sat on the couch, staring at the floor. Jack stood in the kitchen, hands on the counter, trying to think of something to say. I do love you, he said finally. It came out calm, too calm. Emily heard him. She wanted to say it back. She could feel the words right there, sitting in her chest. But something held them in place. Not pain, not anger, just a quiet, steady pressure, like if she tried to push the words out, something would pull them back. So she stayed quiet. Jack nodded, like he understood, even though he didn't. The next few days didn't get better, but they didn't get worse either. They didn't fight. They didn't raise their voices. They didn't say anything they would regret. And somehow that felt more wrong than anything else. Emily started noticing all things. She would sit on the couch, fingers brushing against the fabric, and sometimes she'd find herself plucking at it, at loose threads, pulling at them without thinking, watching them stretch just a little before slipping free. She didn't know why she was doing it. She just couldn't stop. Jack kept the card in his pocket. He didn't remember putting it there, but every time he reached in, his fingers found it. He would take it out, turn it over in his hands, rubbing his thumb along the edge. The paper didn't feel like paper anymore. It felt softer, like something worn, like something that had been handled too many times. They tried to talk. They really did. I didn't mean what I said, Emily told him one night. Jack nodded. I know, He did know. He could feel that she didn't mean it. But the feeling didn't go anywhere. It didn't land. It just faded. Jack tried to apologize. "I'm sorry," he said. He meant it. He knew he meant it. But when the words left his mouth, they felt empty, like they had been hollowed out on the way out. Emily heard them, and she wanted to respond, to forgive him, to feel something, anything. But there was nothing to reach for. It wasn't that they didn't care. That was the worst part. They did. They just couldn't feel it anymore. One night, Emily sat on the couch, pulling at another loose thread. She pulled a little too hard this time. It came free longer than she expected, sliding out smoothly. She stared at it. For a second, she had the strange feeling it wasn't coming from the couch. She dropped it. The feeling passed. "Emily," Jack said from the kitchen. She looked up. He was holding the card again, turning it between his fingers. "I can't do this anymore." There was no anger in his voice, no frustration, just nothing. Emily nodded slowly. She knew what he meant. She felt it too. She should have cried. She knew that. She could picture it, how it should feel, the tightness in her chest, the shaking, the loss. But there was nothing there. Just that same quiet space. She looked at the card in his hand. "We changed after we went there," she said. Jack didn't answer. He just watched her. "What if we go back?" she said. Her voice was steady, too steady. "Just once more." Jack frowned slightly. "Why?" Emily looked down at her hands, at the faint marks where she had been pulling at the fabric. "I don't feel anything," she said. Jack was quiet for a moment. Then he nodded. "Me neither." That was enough. They went back the next evening. The building looked the same small sign, the same quiet hallway. As they walked up, the door opened. A couple stepped out. Neither of them spoke. They didn't look at each other. They didn't look upset. They just walked past, calm and empty. Emily watched them go. There was something familiar about it, something she recognized. Jack saw it too. For a moment, they both had the same thought. A quiet, desperate one. They wanted that feeling back, the anger, the hurt, even the worst of it, because at least it had been something. They stepped in out. The woman was already there, sitting in the same chair, same posture, same stillness, like she had never left. She looked at them, not surprised, not curious, just aware. Sit, she said. They did. There was thread in her hands again, longer this time, thicker. It moved slowly between her fingers as she worked. Emily watched it. There was something about it that made her chest feel tight. The woman looked between them, then at the space separating them. "Are you ready to continue?" she asked. Jack and Emily didn't answer right away, but neither of them said